Hello. Hello. Welcome to episode number 2 out of 10 of this podcast that I suddenly created that is called Woman's Talk. After struggling with the creativity in my videos in this channel, I received a strong message from one of you asking me for advice in a very important matter of their personal life. And it's not the first time. So it really clicked on me how much sometimes I inspire you without even me noticing by the way I live my life. Call it by my decision making, how I travel alone, how I travel with my child now that I'm a mother, how I approach motherhood, how I approach life in different circumstances, in relationships, in work, in finances, or whatever. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm teaching or what you're learning from me. But I realized that, and I decided to open a question box in my Instagram. If you're not following me, this is the moment to stop this video. Go follow me on my Instagram at Cabrera Music. I'll wait for you. All right. And many of you have answered the topics that you really want to hear in a deeper way. So I created 10 episodes to discuss those things that you have selected. I know today I'm looking like the boss, and that is because I have become the boss of my life in the way that I approach decision making in my life. So today I want to share my point of view and how I actually make decisions for my life to happen the way it happens and unfold. How I actually co-create with God, making decisions that lead me to take the action that I need to take for whatever reason that I'm going through. But before we start this video, I want to introduce you to the sponsor of this Woman's Talk podcast. My sweet gratitude is created from pain, struggle, and challenges of a woman that didn't stop herself there. She knew that she was deserving better, and she created something to remind herself how important it is to take self-care. So created with the best organic ingredients, this body butter, my sweet gratitude, will hydrate and moisturize your skin because the glow that a good decision making can take you. It should also be treated with a lot of self-care. You know how much I care for the quality of putting natural ingredients in my skin and in my body. And I definitely trust this one. Give it a try. Even my mom is in love with this butter. Clicking on the link in my description down below. One of the questions I get the most often is, Ro, how do you make such big decisions in life? How do you move countries? How you travel alone? How you start over again from zero once again? How you become a mother and still pursue your dreams? And the truth is, I don't always know exactly what I'm doing, but I have learned something about decision making that has changed my life. I think nobody knows what they're doing, and I spent a lot of my time believing that maybe one day I would have the answers, or I would think that confident people that I admire and that are actually in places where I want to be, that maybe they would have access to some kind of information that I didn't. And I realized that simply most of us are making the best decisions with what we have and what we can. The truth is, many times we wait to have some kind of certainty in order for us to make a decision. But the truth is, many times the certainty comes after we make the decision. I think there are multiple reasons why women in general fear making decisions. And it's 100% valid. Number one, the fear of making mistakes. With the uncertainty of how things will go after we make a decision, we don't know what can be the result. And we don't know if maybe we messed up. Many times we fear disappointing people in general. How many people makes decisions for others instead for themselves? Because of what? Because of the fear of judgment. What others will say. What others will think. And that, my girl, can stop you for a long, long time. Sometimes we just want guarantees that, okay, if I take this way, this will happen. If I take this other way, this will happen. And I know the uncertainty is just a very uncomfortable place to stay. Trust me, I'm just swimming in it right now. I have to make decisions. And trust me, I'm postponing it. I'm like, maybe tomorrow. maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. But let me ask you something. How many decisions have you delayed because you wanted certainty? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so now I'm going to share some of the biggest decisions I have made in my life. But I do strongly feel that sometimes life-changing decisions are not necessarily the biggest ones. Sometimes are very simple decisions that can literally change our lives forever. But yeah, it takes a lot of risk to make the big ones. The ones that you know for sure that tomorrow will be different. Those big decisions that really takes a lot of time to create enough courage to make it. Leaving home to emigrate my own country was one of the biggest decisions that I made. I did it alone. And if you want to know a little bit more, you can just watch episode number 1 because I share a little bit of my solo traveler stories. But someone that just makes the decision to leave everything behind, to walk on the unknown, to face a new reality, a new culture, a new language, the distance in between, to change a whole new routine from what someone was used to. Those are big decisions that really, really change who we are deeply. Some of those decisions can actually break you a little bit inside, but the one that you built as well, thank God I cannot tell you that I regret many decisions. I do have decisions that I regret, of course, but I don't generally regret life in general. I also am a believer that I'm where I'm supposed to be. Stepping out of relationships, we will have a special episode on that because I know many people seems to be very interested in that topic. But I stepped out of 2 important relationships, and it's never an easy thing to do. Making decisions is not an easy thing to do. Becoming a mother was another very, very difficult decision for me because I really had to navigate deep in my interior to find desires, to find versions of me that were a little covered with dust because I wasn't paying attention. I believe that becoming a mother was one of the funniest decisions though. Like, it really made me to swim in a wavy ocean that seemed very uncomfortable to kind of push, you know? But at the moment that I accepted my truth and the moment that I accepted what I actually wanted in my heart, plump, pregnant. That I had never had a fastest answer to a decision, literally. I swear. I kind of said, okay, I agree. And my show was, hello. That was something I will never forget. But it was a decision. It was to literally allow myself to become someone I don't know. And to let go something that I want to hold, but I need to let go. Moving from one country to another a couple of times. I really jumped into the unknown multiple times in my life. Sometimes I did it impulsively and I didn't think too much. But the thing is, I know that also when I'm overthinking, because I am an overthinker most of the time, I'm not the most optimistic when I overthink. And I kind of like to be surprised by life in general. Impulsiveness takes me to jump into the unknown and find myself in the surprises of life. Sometimes they can be nice, sometimes they can be not. I really want to stop being that impulsive. Though it's not that I didn't enjoy it in my life, but I wouldn't say it's one of my best qualities. In this moment of my life, I can literally share with you that I'm learning to go slower in things. I'm learning that a lot of things need time to grow. With a situation that I'm going through right now in my present, which I'm not gonna share a lot, but I can tell you what I'm learning from it, is that I noticed that because I am someone that sometimes acts like fearless and like I'm like, okay, let's make this decision. I don't care because something good can happen out of it. I'm optimistic. I'm positive about it. If it's meant to be, will be. I have hit my face to the ground hundreds of times. I rushed into things that I should have allowed the space grow slower. And because of that, and because I multiple times that I rushed into things, because I made quick decisions, because I follow this impulse of getting results fast, I had good results at the end. I noticed that I'm kind of used to that need of wanting a result fast. And when something doesn't come, when something doesn't give me an answer as fast as I expect, I see an alarm and I see danger. And I say, okay, this is not working. Okay, I'm out. This time, I'm struggling with a situation like that right now, when I'm learning to do things slow and it's pissing me off. It's not easy. It's not easy because I'm also someone that I've learned a lot to let go, detachment. I am part of a generation where we are being taught to let go, learn to let go things, you know. What about holding? What about sustaining? The truth is, I waited for Maisha for 9 months for a perfect divine timing to be born. Yeah, I could say yes, I had the certainty that I was going to meet him, but what if something happened in between the pregnancy, you know? What if I didn't? Because nothing is sure at the end of the day, right? I notice in my case that I'm able to be patient in many areas of my life, and some other areas of my life I cannot be patient. I want result now. And that can lead me to mess things up sometimes. The truth is that I have followed my heart a lot of times. It's what actually made me be someone like led by impulse and make decisions because this is how I feel, you know, and this is what it feels good right now for me. So this is my answer. Now that I'm learning to be obedient to our Lord, that I'm a Bible student, I'm learning that the heart is a fool and that the heart doesn't make the best decisions always. So yeah, an older version of me would have told you, follow your heart, listen to your intuition. My version of today is telling you, do not follow your heart. Your heart is a fool. Ask for discernment and learn to be patient. The right answers come with peace. And that doesn't mean that you will not get triggered by situations, that you will not get triggered by your wounds. But how many times did we make decisions from fear? And this is something that I'm literally experiencing right now. This wound of wanting quick results sometimes makes me want to run away, not because this is not working, you know? And maybe the results that can actually scare me for making the wrong decisions, because, you know, we are in between making a good decision and the wrong decision. We are always in between that. We really need to learn how to live with the uncomfort of uncertainty. And it sucks, I know, it sucks. But I believe there's always a test in those situations. In this moment of my life, I am really learning to discern when something is giving me peace because it's kind of meant to be, or it's giving me anxiety because I'm allowing my fears and my wounds to react. From what I've learned in my life, something that I could call my decision-making framework is literally that, to really separate fear from intuition. And it's not something easy. It's something that I'm also struggle, you know. It's this battle between, okay, I kind of do feel this in a very strong and special way that I have to go this way. But my fears on the other side want to take me to another way. And even though we can really picture 1,000 different scenarios with thousands of different possibilities, which I mean, they actually can exist somehow. And the most important that I can say now before I forget is that let everything be God's will, which doesn't keep you away from making decisions though. We are literally co-creating because He gives us free will to choose. He can send you the love of your life. You can decide if you want it or not. He can send you that person you've been praying for. You can decide if you want to date him or not. You can pray for that job opportunity. He can knock on your door, you can open or not, but that's where you have to make that decision. One of the things that I can learn is that the fear is loud. He is loud. That monster is loud. And he doesn't come from God, but he will speak. Beep, 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 beep. And he needs to scream so you hear it. Well, the intuition, well, that peaceful answer that God can give you feels calmer. He doesn't need to scream. He doesn't need to slap you in the face, to listen to me. No, no, no. And I think this is why I should not recommend you to be so impulsive. So we can give space to actually discern. I love the word and the value that it is, discernment. And it's very important to put it in practice. I know staying in a state of confusion and doubt is so annoying, but sometimes we gotta sit in a calm state and really ask ourselves, what decision would I make if I trusted myself? And not what would everyone approve of, because that's something that's for sure mine. No one can make decisions for ourselves, or nobody should. But we do have that power to lead our life. When you are in between two decisions, imagine both futures. And one of the most beautiful right now is, this decision brings me closer to God or it pulls me away. This decision builds in me or destroys a part of me. And I think literally there is a big difference in letting a version of yourself die that destroyed it. When I choose to become a mother, I knew a version of me had to go and to die for me to be born into someone new. But I didn't destroy the version that I was. If I would have to regret option number 1, or if I have to regret option number 2, which one would feel heavier? Accept uncertainty. Because the goal is not to make it disappear. Everything is unknown. The next second of my life is unknown. Tomorrow is unknown. The goal here is to become someone that can handle uncertainty. Of course, I had made decisions in my life that look crazy to others. And I can tell you that there were some of my best decisions in life. But 100%. They look very irrational from the outside look. Solo traveling. Let's go explain my mom that Rocio wants to go alone somewhere far away. Literally, there was one day where I went to the mountains for a very quick trip, 2 or 3 days only. And I messaged my mom. I was in Mexico and I messaged my mom and I told her, hey, if I don't message you these days, it's because I want to be alone in the mountains. She was like, what? The worst thing that someone can the worst thing that a daughter can tell her mom. She literally panicked. She thought that I was going to be in the middle of a mountain, sleeping in a tent, surrounded by the wildlife of the mountains. In that moment, I really wanted to go for like a silence trip and not to use my phone and everything. I just wanted to let her know that I wouldn't pick up the phone in case, or maybe if she texted me, I would not answer, and I just know that I'm okay. Yeah, that wasn't the best decision to tell her that, but. Anyway, I'm safe, Mom. Here I am. I'm good, Mom. Hello. I'm good and I'm closer to you now. My career choices as well. Honestly, this is something that I have dealt my entire life. I didn't pick a career that looks the most life secure provider of all, Since I'm a child, I just love arts. And yeah, there must be places, I don't know, if you want to be a music student in Switzerland, it's like, wow, congratulations, wow, oh my God, the elites. Here, if you want to be a musician, you're just a hippie, you will fail in life, you will have no money. And I took a career that success means big things that are very difficult to reach for many people. I have choose a career where I need people's approval. I need people to like me and to follow me and to listen to what I do and to be my fans and things like that. It really requires a lot of these things. To risk everything, to risk a safety position, maybe a just 9-to-5 job that gives me financial security at some point, and it gives me some kind of security for tomorrow. And instead of doing all of that, I just choose to find opportunities in a very different way that can look crazy for others. My motherhood choices, I gave birth to my baby in this room, literally having hundreds of opinions that I was making a wrong decision about it. The truth is when you make a decision, sometimes your next chapter will make absolute no sense to people who aren't meant to live it. So now we are talking about making decisions. I think there is something that is definitely worse than making decisions, and it's not making them. And that has a cost. Every time we avoid making a decision, we are still making one. We are choosing to stay where we are, maybe in an uncomfortable situation, maybe in an unhappy place, maybe in a place that breaks us, in a place that kills us inside. There's a couple of questions that I ask before I make major decisions, as I was sharing with you earlier. Does this expand me or shrink me? Does this give me an opportunity to grow? Let me repeat my favorite one of the moment. Does this bring me closer to God or repulse me away? Am I acting from fear or from love? Will I regret not trying? Is this aligned to who I'm becoming? Is this taking me to be the one I want to be? Would I be proud of myself for trying this? Let me tell you something. Your life is shaped less by the opportunities you receive and more by the decisions you make. Being brave is not always making the right decision. The brave thing is trusting yourself enough to choose again and again and again. And now, I leave you with this. What is one decision that you've been postponing because you're waiting for certainty? Maybe this is your sign that certainty is not coming, but courage can. Don't forget that you are brave. I hope you enjoy this episode, and I hope to see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.